日の家事がちょっと楽しくなるアットホーム人情コメディ。物を用意してくれ。
So let's go ahead and break down what the Way of the Household Husband is all about. After disappearing from the underworld, the legendary yakuza Tatsu, the immortal dragon, resurfaces as a fiercely devoted stay-at-home husband. So if that premise sounded goofy enough for you, that's because, well, it is. And this is a comedy. And with the comedy, there are just so many moments where you see Tatsu applying what he did in his previous life onto being a full-time household husband, as the title of this anime suggests. There's moments where you see Tatsu walking to a grocery store, intimidating a store clerk, saying, "Hey, can you show me where that white good stuff is at?" And me as the audience and as the store clerk, you're thinking, yeah, we don't sell those kind of drugs or cocaine here, only for the wife alongside him to be like, "Oh, no, he means the flour. Can you show us where the flour is? Thank you very much." So if you're up for a good laugh and comedy with jokes like that, then this show is definitely for you. As an anime connoisseur, a lot of people always like that simple old age debate. What's better, watching this subbed or dubbed? And I would say watching it with the subtitles is a lot of fun because the VA performer of Tatsu, he is known throughout the anime industry for a lot of famous roles. The things that are popping up to mind right now is Overhaul from My Hero Academia. He was Joker from Fire Force. He was Literaro from Tower of God. And that one guy with green hair in The God of High School, you know who I'm talking about. So watching it in subtitles with his VA performance, I think is spectacular, but I also enjoyed watching it in dub as well. Although things might not be as emphasized as if you were watching it with the subtitles, I think you can't go wrong either or. This looks like, much like the manga, it's just a series of short mini stories, so you can really watch any episode in any order, and I don't think you will be confused. It goes without saying, if you watch episode 1 onwards, then you'll probably get the most enjoyment out of it, but they are short mini stories. I don't think there's any deterrent or you'll lose something of valued importance if you were to watch a random episode here or there. That being said, one of the standout moments was when Tatsu met one of his fellow rivals working at a food truck stand, and I could not stop laughing, where they are both taking the best social media pics to show off to their friends and colleagues. I mean, again, this premise is so silly and goofy. And if you're up for stuff like that, that's just one of many examples that you'll be watching when you watch this show. But if there's something that a lot of people are going to take notice on and will be the biggest criticism of this show, and perhaps the biggest turnoff, is the animation. If you guys have seen the teaser trailer for The Way of the House Husband, you'll look at it and wonder to yourself, these look like a bunch of still shots, but will the actual show be like this? And sadly, unfortunately, the answer to that is yes. Basically, storyboards that I feel like wasn't completed. Now, some could argue that, well, they're going for a one-for-one animation look, and although I can see that interpretation, I would also argue something like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure also does something like that as well. They'll do those emphasis shots on the gasp look, or even when they ramp up the sound effects, whether it's Tatsu making dinner or doing yoga poses. That in and of itself is spot on. When you look at this, the animation looks very, very lanky. It doesn't look clean whatsoever. If you did actually put a one-for-one comparison with the manga and the anime, you would probably look at the manga and be like, maybe it's better suited that I read this story here versus watching the Netflix anime original. That being said though, despite how rough the animation looked, and despite it just looking like a storyboard instead of, well, an actual anime, I still walked away laughing and having a fantastic time. This is one of those shows where I can't help but ask myself and everyone who's watching this review, if you only had to pick one, because they would all be equally important, if you only had to pick one, what's the thing that would sell you on an anime? Is it the animation style? Is it the story? Or is it the premise? Watching The Way of the House Husband, checking 2 out of those 3 criteria. The premise is fantastic. It's goofy. I can't help but laugh while I'm watching it. But the animation is such a deterrent and such a thing that just takes me away from it. I walked away saying this is fantastic. I still think you should watch it, and if you want something lighthearted and fun for the spring anime season, this is it right here. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. If I brought you some value and entertainment, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel for more anime content. My name is TJ Miles, and as I always say, to be continued, take care.